Hello, everybody. This is Devlog 0, so not a lot to talk about this week because it's kind of just behind the scenes stuff mostly, but this is the first one, somewhere to start. Uh, I suppose I have a text document here saying stuff that I should do so I don't forget, and I suppose I should probably start by explaining what this project is for those who don't know. It's inspired by the original Resident Evil from 1996, where the main gameplay loop is walking around and solving puzzles, getting keys, unlocking other parts of the map, that type of thing. Limited ammo, all that stuff. Classic survival horror is what I'm going for. A little bit of Silent Hill in there. I'll probably have something like playing on the screen from the alpha. I'm gonna call it an alpha from now on, I think. From like the alpha version for the game jam. Give you an idea. There's a trailer somewhere on my YouTube channel if you want to check it out there too. It's not the best trailer, but it is what it is. So that should give you an idea. You're a part of the Navy on a submarine on an alien planet when, oh no, something went wrong. Alien virus takes over the submarine. Everyone's zombies. You're the only one left, and you've got to escape, basically. So I think that's basically what the game is. So I'm gonna be doing these every Friday. We're gonna try every Friday, and if it's kind of slow, there's not a lot to talk about each week. I'll do it every other Friday, but for now, it's every Friday, and you'll be able to find it here on YouTube, in video format. I have a Twitter. I'll probably link it somewhere. That I'm going to post updates basically when the devlog comes out. I'll notify it on Twitter in case you guys use Twitter, and on the itch.io demo page, which will be in the description as well, I'm going to do a written version of it. So if you don't really like listening to my voice because I'm annoying, you can go to that, and it's like a list of everything I've done, and I don't know, maybe I'll put some GIFs there or something. I'm not sure if you can do that on itch.io. Uh, I think that's everything we have to cover before actually getting into the project in front of you now. So let's get down to business. As you notice, this is the default Unreal level, and the reason I'm in this is because I've completely restarted the project. It was kind of spaghetti code originally. It wasn't, because I only had 2 weeks for the game jam, and it wasn't programmed very well. I should have mentioned for those coming from YouTube, I did this for a game jam, and I'm doing a full version. So it was pretty shit. It was put together pretty poorly. So it's easier to restart it than to fix the bugs. So let's have a look here. What have I done? Mostly simple stuff this week, to be honest. I've added movement, so I've done it the correct way, the way that people don't want to teach you when you're using Unreal 5, where I've done it using the input actions, so they're done nicely. It means that when the game is done, the player will be able to like easily change what keybinds or what. It just makes everything nicer. And if we go in, start the thingy, you can see, you can walk around, look around. It's a little choppy at the moment. I think it's because of the default Unreal sensitivity is pretty high. Look around, you've got the basics. You can walk. Unlike, I don't know what that was, so ignore that. I'll fix that later. But as you can see in the demo, or the alpha, sorry, you can only really, you walk forward, you walk backwards, it plays the forward animation. But now I have some temporary animations for each direction. So got to change these left and right ones a bit, got to polish them, but it's nice to have them. You can also sprint, which was a very heavily requested feature, and I can understand why. So don't worry, there will be sprinting. It'll be pretty important considering the map is going to be a lot bigger in the full version. You've probably already noticed it when I looked around, but there's camera lag, so it doesn't follow directly behind the player, which is very nice. And also, you can only look kind of up and down 45 degrees, which is nice. I might change it to 60. We'll see if there are issues later with the gameplay, but 45 for now I think feels pretty good. Like I said before, there are animations. I mean, you can see the sprinting. This is pretty rough. These are basic animations because I'm getting the code working mainly now. I'll probably redo a lot of these animations later. Dev art as it was. you can also only sprint forward. I should have mentioned that when I was talking about sprinting, but I'm kind of going through it by order of what I've programmed. You can only sprint forward. I'm sprinting, move left, can't sprint anymore. I really got to figure out why this is happening. So yeah, you can only sprint forward, which is nice. A pain in the ass to program. I thought it'd be a lot easier than it was, but you know, it's the easy stuff that's hard, and the hard stuff that's easy, sorta. You can aim. Got that nice zoom in. I got it lerping between two values, so it's going from 0 to 1. Looks very nice. I'm happy with that a lot. Slows you down while you're walking as well, so yeah, like there's no aiming animation or anything. Yeah, like I said, the animations are still very much a work in progress. Um, that's kind of all of the like visible stuff. Sprints, this. I will mention that these work nicely together. Like sprinting and aiming are done using one function, which makes everything very clean. I'm very happy with it. So, I mean, that's kind of all I have to say for the visual side of stuff. If you're interested in what I'm actually doing, I've got a couple things to show you. Now, if I find my player, this will take a second. I might have to cut here because the first time you open a blueprint, oof, it takes like a minute or two to load. So I'll see you in a minute, I guess. Here we go. Should be open in a second now. There we go. It's open, finally. Yeah, it took about a minute. So, I'm doing all them blueprints in Unreal 5 because I could learn how to... I used to program in GameMaker. I could learn C++, but... or do C# and use Godot. I don't really have time for that. I'm not really a programmer. I'm more of like a 3D artist. Do some like flashing of some of the stuff I've done on my screen. Maybe we'll see. I got a truck I'm doing now, so maybe I'll flash that on screen. I'm not really a programmer. I'm a 3D artist, so it's a lot easier for me to do this than learn C++ or C#. Anyway, enough about me. Let's go on about the project. So I have in here input two beautiful functions. So basically, a mapping context is the controls, and a mapping context is like a set of controls or an array of controls, as it were. And what this function allows me to do is to just call add input and then say what list of controls I want added, and it adds only that list of controls, which is beautiful. It's very nice. I'll show you in a second. And then I have the same for removing it. So for example, if the player is grabbed, right? I want to stop them from moving. And maybe I still want them to be able to open their inventory or something. The best way for me to do that is using these two functions here. Because, for example, when I start the game, which is what this is, the first thing it does is add these two movements. Or sorry, these two mapping contexts. So the movement, which is WASD and shift for sprinting, and then the weapon stuff. So I can say no weapon controls anymore, and I can just get rid of this one. Player can't use their weapon, or I can say they can use their weapon, but I don't know, there's something like, I don't know, a bear trap or something, they can't move. I can remove this, but they can still like shoot and aim and maybe use their inventory or whatever for more that I add later. So this is good, and it lets me, if I'm in something else that isn't the player, I can call the player, remove input. I can do it from outside the player. It's very nice and clean. Now, I have another thing here for the speed changing, which probably will only be used like one or two more times, but it's still nice that I got this the best way I know how. So, explain this really quick. Basically, this is basically a function, but it allows me to do timed events in it. And so when you do this, it plays this timeline from the start. And essentially this is half a second long. Is it half a second long? Let me just check. Yeah, it's half a second long. So it's half a second long, and it goes from 0 to 1 over half a second. And that allows me to change your walking speed. Oh, this is a bit hard to explain. I'm not very good at explaining things. So basically, you have whatever your current speed is, and whatever the speed you're changing to, and then the alpha is it changing between your current speed to your new speed. And so this is the alpha, which over half a second goes from 0 to 1, and then it becomes your new speed over half a second, which I'll show you with the sprinting, allows you to smoothly go to sprinting. Over half a second, it smoothly goes in and out of sprinting rather than snapping to that speed immediately, which personally I prefer. I'm using a timeline for the aiming as well. I have the point that it is by default and the point that it is when you aim, and just smoothly goes in and out instead of snapping to that position. So having this allows me to change the speed very smoothly, doesn't overlap. It's very, very nice. And then one thing to show you guys that I did as well, and that's I've done weapons correctly. Well, I've done it sort of correctly. All the weapon code is in the player, and it's just a model over here. Like, all the code is in the player, but I have weapons. I have a parent. So basically what a parent is this has loads of variables in it. And all of these variables don't have a value. You see none, false, which is the default for a Boolean. All of these 0, all their default values, because the player will never be able to see this. But the 92FS, which is the pistol, is a child of it. And basically that means it inherits everything that the parent class has, but I can add extra things and change variables so they're different. So that's done a lot of times for like enemies, things like that. Weapons, if they're done correctly, are basically always done like this. And so this makes adding extra weapons very, very easy. Like once you have all the assets for these different weapons, it's very easy. Like the weapon mesh, which is the model and the texture. Just once you make a new one, you can add a new one. This is part of the animation. This is the hip animations when you're walking around. That, like, once you have that done, it's easy. Can aim. Some weapons you might not be able to aim. The walking speed while you're aiming. This is how much you zoom in while you're aiming. Like, it makes adding weapons very, very nice and done correctly, more importantly. So I did this for the other one, but I have the variables a lot nicer and cleaner now, and a lot more things will be customizable. Like before, I couldn't change the speed. I wasn't able to change how much you zoomed in, that type of stuff. Now it's going to be nice and smooth. It's going to be really cool. So I'm happy about that. I think that's all I did. It's been a slow week, as you can imagine, from 2 straight weeks of programming dead aboard for the game jam. I am exhausted. So I'm getting into it slowly before I get into it properly again. Because I'm tired. It's tiring getting game jams done. Every time I do a game jam, I promise I'll never do it again. I'll probably do another one. We'll see. Whenever the next Dread XP jam is, I'll probably join in, because they're pretty fun. Like those guys. Anyway, yeah, I'm pretty sure that's everything. So I'm on 15 minutes. I'm gonna have to cut some of that out. I thought it'd be like 10. I thought it'd be less than 10 minutes. Thanks for watching, I suppose. And I'd also like to thank everyone who played the alpha. The feedback was just great. It was just something else. Like, I'm shocked. 154 downloads right now. I think it's plateaued, so I'm probably not getting much more. But 154 people played my game. That's stunning. That's just like, I'm just real. Thank you guys a lot, and the feedback was really good. Like, I got a lot of feedback, so I have it written down somewhere what things were complained about most and all that. Sorry about the voice cracks. I think I'm a bit sick. Yeah, I think I'm a little bit sick, so sorry about the voice cracks. Yeah, like, thanks a lot for watching. Everyone who gave me feedback, it's really appreciated. Everyone who played, you're the goat. I'll be doing another one of these next Friday. We'll see what I have done in a week. Probably more than what I have. Probably do more next week than what I did last week. Or this week. You know what I mean. There'll be a lot more next Friday, I'd say. So to recap the stuff I said at the beginning about where you can find these. You find them here on YouTube. Subscribe to me. Check in every Friday or whatever. Notification and stuff. Pretty sure when you say subscribe, it does the little thing around the subscribe button now. So see if it did that. That'd be pretty cool. Twitter, I'm gonna be doing like, hey, new devlog out, you know, that type of thing, like an announcement that the new one is out on Twitter. So that's kind of just a link to click, but you can follow me there. I'll put the link in the description, and then you can also read what I've done, probably with some GIFs or images or whatever on itch.io. You can do that now as well. I'm recording this before I have that done, but I'll write out that soon and we'll see what it looks like, because I'm sure some people don't want to watch videos. Yeah, so that'll be in the description. I'm gonna upload them onto the page with the alpha on it. Like, I'm gonna upload it to the alpha page. I'm rambling real bad. I should have wrote down more structured what I wanted to talk about, but I'm adding them to the alpha page for now. It doesn't seem like the best place for it. I don't have a website or anything. I might make a website instead at some point and swap them over to be hosted there, because not the YouTube videos, I'll keep them on YouTube, but the written blog versions, because it feels weird adding announcements essentially to an alpha that I'm not updating. So I don't know. I might swap it around and see if there's a better way. But for now, they're going to be up there till I find something else. So thanks for watching. Goodbye. I'll see you next Friday. I'm going to have to cut out loads of rambling. We're at almost 20 minutes now. So you'll probably get, like, I don't know, a 13-minute video. And I'll have to cut out this probably too. A lot of rambling. But yeah, thanks. Goodbye. Bye-bye. You're back next Friday so that we can talk again. Bye-bye.